and you are the only one who can bring that perspective.
Yeah.
You know, like, I want to just encourage everyone and remind everyone, there's only your voice. You know, there's only Maya. There's only Sarah. There's only you, you know?
Your experiences bring beautiful things out to this world.
Because no one has lived your life. So your words matter.
And I think it's this is such a fun conversation and ties into the energy that we're dealing with the Aries and Libra eclipses, and especially the Aries new moon eclipse that we just experienced. Be proud of what you have to offer. Be proud of the new ideas you have. Be proud of taking this bold risk, because it may be monumental for everyone else. But if you don't have the courage to say it, it's going to die. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be the first person that wholeheartedly believes in your idea, in your feelings, in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because people will see if you don't believe in it, and they're already done with you 1 minute into you giving a speech about why everyone should follow, you know, this new thing that you just came up with.
Yeah.
You need to feel confident and bold enough to take that risk and show people why it will be worth their while if they take that risk with you. That is the message of this Aries new moon eclipse. And the Aries and Libra eclipses this year. Bet on yourself and respect other people enough to want to be with you.
Yeah.
To want to see your dream. And also do that for other people. You know, that's that Libra energy.
Right. That's the other axis.
The other people matter. Is you working? Is you working? Is you on? Are you here? Are you with us? Is anyone there? Hi, y'all.
Hey.
What's up, Uppbeat?
Sorry. We're coming to a different day.
But we're here.
But we're here now.
Yeah.
You know, like, it wasn't a good day the last few days.
Yeah.
But now it's a better day.
For real.
And happy to be here with you.
So happy to be with you on this beautiful, joyous Sunday.
Yes.
And if it's not joyous, it is now, because you're hanging out with your girls.
Yes.
And I just feel like this week was interesting. It was an eclipse week. Like, I want to know, like, what's the weirdest thing that happened to people this week? Because, like, eclipse energy is, like, very, very unmanageable. Like, you know, unpredictable. Like, more than, like, typical, like, it wasn't even a full moon, but it was still a new moon eclipse.
Yeah.
So it has that energy of, like, what the fuck is about to happen?
Right. And it's the eclipse energy mixed with the retrograde.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I feel like there was
literally.
just a lot of tension.
It is.
And also just, like, underlying, like, why is this so irritating?
Yeah, things
like,
that are
aggravating.
supposed to be easy just felt a little, like, off and weird. Like, one of my coworkers, her laptop broke. She had to get a new one. Like, someone else on our team got into an accident.
Oh, no.
Like I'm just like, oh, it's starting. It's starting.
Yeah.
It's starting.
No, the energy is...
So, like, you know...
Yeah.
Just make sure that you're leaving a little bit earlier than usual. Back up the things that you need to back up on your technological devices.
Straight up.
Because you never know how the Mercury retrograde is going to pop off.
Right.
You know?
Right. And the retrograde wants you to slow down and revisit things. You know what I mean?
It definitely does. It definitely does. And speaking of that very thing, so y'all know about the whole, like, Hailey Bieber and, like, Selena. Like, you have to be living under a rock. Like, I feel like that and Vanderpump Rules.
The biggest drama
It's like
of 2023.
No. Seriously.
Genuinely.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like the Renaissance.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
like a period in history where everything shifted.
Right.
And it's funny, I'm talking about it in terms of Mercury retrograde, because, you know, Mercury retrograde is all about, like, revisiting things. Like, things that you've already been working on, things that you already knew of, like exes. Like, there's nothing really new that comes to the picture, and that's why they say don't start anything new.
Right.
Instead, like, reflect, redo, rest, like, all these things. It came out that apparently this source said that it actually was not, because I don't know if you guys live under a rock, but Selena actually posted on her story, like, a few weeks back, like, hey, Hailey Bieber reached out to me, like, please stop, like, aggressively hating on her, like, essentially, like, telling people to stop it, and that she doesn't stand for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let it the fuck go.
Right.
And Hailey responded and said, like, you know, it's been the hardest, like, you know, few months of my life. Like, please, like, I really appreciate you, Selena. Thank you, everyone. Like, let's just, like, move on, you know?
Yeah.
And then they followed each other on Instagram.
Okay, sweet.
Probably muted the fuck out of each other.
Right.
Like, let's be honest.
Right. New drama in a couple months when one unfollows.
But I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I guess yesterday, and Mercury retrograde started yesterday.
Yeah.
it came out that actually it was Justin Bieber who reached out to Selena asking her to post something so people would leave his wife alone.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting and very Mercury retrograde for this information to like come in, like, because you really never know the whole story.
You don't.
And I feel like Mercury retrograde, it has a way of showing you the whole story, even if you like it or not.
And honestly, I'm happy that it was actually Justin who reached out because it should be like Selena and Justin are the ones who have the history.
Yeah.
And like Haley is just kind of getting the aftermath of it in some ways. You know what I mean? Because so many people love Justin and Haley. And yes, there are some other things that could be considered questionable, but still, like, I feel like it was a very, like, manly thing for, like, grown, mature thing for him to do.
Right. And
to stick up for his woman and say, hey, like, we used to have a thing. Can you, like, have her back?
Because the thing is, Haley would not be getting hated if it wasn't for Justin and Selena's relationship.
It wasn't the past, yeah.
I mean, I know, and again, you guys, I've watched the videos. I'm very aware of the little weird, stalker energy.
Yes. We can't poo-poo that.
No, we can't. But I'm glad that it was him. If this source is telling the truth,
right?
Because it's really good. Yeah, because I feel like it's just up to Justin to put an end to it. Like, I'm trying to think about it. Well, obviously, I ain't in this threesome, this weird situation.
Right.
But I'm trying to think about it, like, if I was with my man and, like, some shit was happening, like, his ex was being weird to me, that would happen.
Right.
Or, like, like, some shit was going down where, like, I'm getting pulled into a situation that has really nothing to do with me, but because of their past, I'm suddenly being pulled into it.
Yeah.
You think I'm all of a sudden going to have energy to deal with that? This has nothing to do with me.
Literally.
Now I'm angry at you too, boo-boo, my man. Right? Because of you, I'm dealing with this shit. Yeah. So I would expect my man to deal with it. Like, you know how in a lot of, like, relationships that are toxic, like, the ex and the girlfriend are always fighting or, like, they're catty with each other? That shit gives me secondhand embarrassment like no other.
Very upset.
Because really, you should be, as the current girlfriend, you should be sitting pretty while your man deals with it. And also, why is there still energy? And again, at this point, we're not talking about them anymore.
Right.
We're just talking about relationships. Like, it is not up to you as the current partner to deal with anything that has to do with his baggage.
Right.
Or her baggage.
Yeah.
It should be strictly up to them. Just like if your ex was coming into the picture and was being weird towards your man, I would expect you... he would expect me to shut that down and be like, you're going to respect my relationship. And if you're being weird to my man, I'm going to do everything I can to remove you from the situation and call your ass out. Yes. I'm not going to expect him to do it.
Right.
You guys have no history. And also, you probably have no respect for each other. I would assume as exes, you have some sort, hopefully, of respect to listen to the other when they're setting some boundaries and be like, you're acting out of pocket. Or do something. You know what I mean?
Right. It does two things. It shows how mature you are as a person, and two, how much you actually respect your relationship.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't respect your relationship, you're just going to sit back and be like, okay, no, it's fine. Like, whatever, this isn't really my problem. Yeah. But it is your problem as the person who is the only connector in this situation.
Exactly.
You have to take the lead. And I feel like sometimes in relationships, like, people are afraid to take that lead, whether it's the man or the woman, like, when it comes to this type of situation. But you have to stick up and make a stand, right? Yeah. And I feel like so many people, the reason why I'm so happy that Justin did this is because there are so many people who are scared and will just kind of let it fall into the background and just hope that the media or time will, like, let it pass. But a really strong person who respects the relationship that they're in is going to be like, nah. We need to nip that in the bud right now.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And, Justin is a Pisces Sun, Libra Moon, so he can be very passive in some ways, I'm assuming, when it comes to things that are sensitive to him. Like, we've seen Justin, like, he can be pretty aggressive. He's gotten into trouble before. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, in terms of who he is to his core and his sun sign, how he shows up in this world, he can be very soft and gentle.
Totally.
So I'm sure it's a little bit uncomfortable for him, but you're just going to have to do it. And while you were talking, it just made me think, like, I want people to understand that one of the most important things in any type of relationship and friendship is standing up for your friend or your partner when they're being disrespected. And I feel like a lot of people hate the person they're with or don't feel safe in friendships because they know that the people around them just never stand up for them.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just the kind of person they are. Like, they're non-confrontational and they don't even stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just blatantly don't care enough about you to stand up for you.
Yeah.
Either or, I feel like those aren't yellow flags. Those are red flags. Like, you deserve to feel safe in a relationship and know that if you're around this friend or your partner, if anyone were to disrespect you, they would stand up for you.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Especially if you're the type to do it.
Protected.
And I feel like a lot, like, it reminds me of Katie from Vanderpump Rules. This is a woman who's been with a man that is very passive for 10 plus years. And, like, one of the main reasons why she divorced Tom Schwartz is because of the fact that he would not stand up for her. And I'm not saying in every situation she was always right, but he would go out of his way to actually join the other side and get down on her.
God.
And just ultimately make her feel unsafe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's two groups of people, hopefully three, in your life that are always going to have your back. And if they disagree with you, they do it behind closed doors so they don't feel like they're ganging up on you in front of the people that are trying to fight you. It would be your partner, your friends, and your family. Like, I would hope those three groups care about you enough to always have your back. And if they disagree with you, they'll let you know in private so it doesn't look like they don't got you like that.
Right.
Because there's nothing worse than being around people that you're not even that comfortable, but the people that are supposed to be close to you, they're the ones that are also making you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So now those people that are new to you see the way other people that are supposed to love you treat you. And essentially you feel small.
Yeah.
You feel like you have no one to back you up. And you're always on the defense. You know? And, like, that was Katie for a lot of the times that she was on the show. Like, she just didn't have the one person that was supposed to ride for her ever ride for her.
Yeah.
You know? And I think internally you just kind of start hating the person.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Serious
yeah, I love you, I
resentment
like
will
you,
come.
but, like, I have so much resentment towards you because of the way you treat me around other people. Like, how are we ever gonna be each other's rocks when you make me feel unstable?
Yeah. I mean, well, in so many ways, they aren't actually accepting you for the person that you are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because
absolutely.
even if you don't agree with it, it's like, you're clearly upset in this moment or whatever it is. Like, it is my duty as your person to support you now.
Yeah.
You know? And actually, again, as we were talking, I thought of another example of this that happened recently was in Love is Blind. When Kwame actually spoke up for Chelsea at the reunion and was like, hey, I'm sorry to Chelsea's family, to Chelsea. Like,
I was so proud of him.
Right. Made like a national apology. And I was like really happy about that. I was like, okay, like I was not super a fan of that relationship before, but the way that he rode for her in that moment and protected her, that was where I was like, oh, so he does actually care about her. Because, yeah, it always seemed like Chelsea was caring more.
Yeah. It seemed like it was like 90-10.
Right.
So I was definitely, I feel like I didn't have a lot of expectations for him going into the reunion.
Yeah.
Because it was surprising when he said yes, but then the reunion, I was like, well, how is this going to go? So he really did pleasantly surprise me. Like, I didn't know what I needed from him, but what he did is what I needed from him. Because, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It could be media training. I'm going to assume it's not. I'm going to assume that it's genuine and that he really has grown and that the editing just was skewed and showed all the negative parts, which is what he said, is that, like, they didn't show any of our, like, good parts, just, like, the bad things.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see someone who I expected to always take the backseat in the relationship, because that's what it seemed like. It seemed like Chelsea was always the one that was type A, there, present, and he was just in the backseat, like, being told what to do.
Right.
Whereas this time, I feel like I saw a shift, and also from their body language. I'm big on body language. Like, I can tell when a couple
connected.
or friends or whatever are connected rather than if they're kind of in a disagreement and if they just are not aligned.
Right.
And they seemed like they were aligned. And I like that he was doing a lot of the talking. You know?
Well, it was the way that I felt like it needed to be. You know what I mean? Because, again, in the Love is Blind situation, and kind of similar into the Haley and Justin situation, like, all of us are thinking or seeing this woman clearly likes him more than he likes her. You know? So then we are all going to make accusations, assumptions about what is going on. Right? And whatever, like, that's what we're going to do. We're humans. But it has to be that other person in the relationship to come up and tell us otherwise. You know? Because we're only seeing one part.
Right.
So until that other person in the relationship, the Kwame, the Justin Bieber, whoever, speaks up, we don't actually know the full
We don't.
story.
We don't.
You know? And it's like, in some ways, you can't be mad at us for being angry at the one-sidedness.
Yeah.
You know? But then it is such a relief when they do stand up, speak up, and say, hey, you've actually got us way messed up. I really love and respect this person. And if you don't start doing the same, I'm not messing with you no more.
Right.
You know? Like, that's really powerful.
To be honest, it's uncomfortable to watch, you know? Like, again, we don't know. I want to make it so clear. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors in any of these relationships. And I always have such a tough time because I love celeb gossip. I love reality TV. I'm a Gemini moon. I'm here for the drama. But also I'm a human, and I'm a really empathetic water sign of a human. Yeah. So I think about the fact that, like, yes, they did put their lives out there, but we really don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And, like, who am I to judge? You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that with my friends of, like, he don't look like, you know what I mean? Like before I ask you about it, you know, of what's going on, I'm not going to assume all these negative things. But, again, they did put themselves out there, so I guess it kind of gives us the right to form opinions. Where I do feel like the line needs to be drawn is when people give out death threats or you go to their DMs and you say really negative things. Like, you can have opinions. You can go, if you really feel inclined, you can go comment on their Instagram and be like, I didn't like the way you did that. You know what I mean? And, like, that's fine. You can't be like, you're disgusting. You're so... Let's talk about the worst thing you've ever done in your life. I always said that to Maya, and I've tweeted it too. I'm like, what if we all walked around with a shirt that said the worst thing we have done in our life up to this point? Right. Would we all be more gentle towards one another? Would we be more understanding? Because a lot of people walk around with their nose up in the air, all snooty, like they've never done anything wrong before, and they've never hurt anyone before. When I know every single person on this planet has done something that they're not proud of. Totally. But these people just so happen to do it in front of the television, and you know, it's blasted on the media or whatever it may be. And, like, I always want to be empathetic to that. Yeah. You know? No, totally. And it's like, you're so right. We've talked about this on the channel before. The way that people go so extreme, it's like, please, I know this is entertaining our lives and a nice, like, distraction, but that's not actually your life. Yeah. And you don't actually know, like Sarah said, what's going on behind closed doors. So you don't know all the facts. You can't really form an opinion and make a decision on things. Right. You know? Right. So just keep that in mind. Keep it lighthearted. Keep it fun. Because when you also put out that negativity, like, you start vibrating lower. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, hate starts coming to you. People start thinking you're ugly and all this stuff, you know? Like, it's easy to send out energy. It's easy to send out that kind of stuff when you're, like, upset or, like, in a moment, you know, or you're, like, really feeling it. But it drains you later. It does. You know, and I want people to remember that. Like, it's easy to send out a text where, you know, you don't actually have to look at the person in the face, but that's still draining your energy. I mean, it isn't. You guys, it's the law of the universe. What you give out is what comes back to you. Amen. You know what I mean? It always comes back to you. It may not come back today, but it might come back tomorrow. Right. You know? So that's why it's you can have your feelings and you can be disappointed in people and annoyed, but the way you express them, it matters. Yeah. Because if you're going through it and you did something really shitty, you don't want someone to come at you and be like, you're fucking disgusting. Right. You want someone to be like, hey, like, I really didn't agree with the way you did things there, and it kind of is making me look at you funny. Yeah. What made you want to do that? Like, you would want someone to come at you with that kind of energy rather than, like, you're the scum of the earth, I hope you die. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that it feels shitty. For sure. Well, also, too, because it's like normally when we do those things, we're hurting ourselves. Yeah. Right? So it's almost like a cry for help. Like, we want someone to ask, like, hey, are you okay? Like, that was, like, a bit much. But that's not what you're always going to get. Yeah. You know? So also, on that note, like, if you are going through something else, communicate with people. Yeah. You know, because we can't read minds. We're too old for that shit. Yeah. And even when you're young, you're too young for that shit. Yeah. Like, it's just not appropriate for anyone to be doing. If you feel something, you have to express it. Yeah. You know what I was thinking? I feel like sometimes also when we have such strong feelings towards someone in a media or a show or whatever, I feel like sometimes, a lot of times, a part of us resonates with them. Mm-hmm. So we almost feel like we're fighting for that part of us by going so hard for this person. Mm-hmm. And the person that hurt them is it reminds us of how we were hurt by the person that hurt us. So it almost feels really, really personal.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why people go so hard. And, you know, I feel like I've done it too. Like, you can't help but, like, look at certain people and be like, oh, I went through that. I'm going to ride hard for you. I'm going to be your number one fan. And the person that did this to you, I'm going to go in on them. Fuck them. Because you feel like you're fighting for a part of you that maybe you didn't have the courage to fight for at the time that happened for you.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And it kind of reminds me of sometimes when, you know, something bad happens with someone, but they didn't actually hurt you that bad, but they're getting all the energy.
Right.
I feel like it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you know, I get it.
Yeah. It's, to me, I want to wrap this up in the sense that, like, if you're in a relationship, you should always be standing up for your partner. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then you shouldn't be with that person. And you definitely shouldn't be messing with the other person.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're in some type of love triangle, it is the responsibility of the mutual person to make that situation okay. You know, like, there shouldn't ever be, like, two girlfriends that are, like, upset at each other. You know, like, that should show you that is a bad man. You know, because a good man or woman, yes.
Women be doing that
shit
too.
Whoever, that's a bad person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because a good person would try and make the situation lighter and easier for everyone to get along in. Because why wouldn't you want that?
I agree. Another thing is,
Unless
I feel like if you cannot stand up for your partner, it shows to me that you have yet to be able to stand up for yourself, which means you're probably not ready to be in a relationship. You know what I mean?
That part right there.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because, like, why am I expecting you to do things for me that you can't even do for yourself? You know what I mean? Like, that's the fucking problem. And, like, you got a lot of work to do, and it's going to take a little bit of time before it gets to me. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do it for yourself before I can expect you to do it for me.
She ain't wrong.
And it sucks. It sucks, you know? Like, you can choose to be with them while they figure it out, but it ultimately might hurt you, you know? So sometimes you just got to give people the space and the time to figure their shit out. And hey, maybe you leave and they get with someone else that doesn't care that they don't have their shit figured out. But at least you have the peace of knowing that you left someone who is not ready to fully commit to you and be the best version of themselves for you.
Right. Don't, like, sign up already giving yourself the short end of the stick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, in a relationship, you should be getting all and everything.
Yeah.
That you think you deserve and then some. You know?
Absolutely. Me and my man always tell each other, I'll take care of myself for you and you'll take care of yourself for me.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Ooh, we going to church this
Going to church, baby! Oh my God. Speaking of church, you know what show I miss?
What?
The Righteous Gemstones.
I was like a church show.
On the Bible Valley. I miss my fucking crooked church.
Church is so good.
That was one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah, I mean The Righteous Gems or whatever.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
Speaking of good shows,
so frackin' fun.
I have
you got a show for us?
I have a recommendation because I mean the show just did their series finale, which I wanted to cry.
Oh.
Like, it was one of those shows where I'm just like,
oh, it's gone.
Me and my boyfriend. It was our show. It's called Animal Kingdom.
Oh.
It's so good. So it's about this. Yeah, it's briefly talked about it last night. So one of the guys, when the show ended or about to end, he joined that show that's on Netflix, Peaky Blinders. But anyway, so about the show, it's like a heist show, except it's like this family. It's these like 4 brothers and their mom. And the mom's like a gangsta.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they've just been like doing like all these heists. And they live in like San Diego. Like they have this beach house. They like surf. Some of them surf. Like it's just like it's a vibe. Okay. I just like fell in love with all of these characters, and the character arc for all of them like has just been so amazing to watch.
Love a good character
and
growth.
it's cool because you know it starts obviously in modern time. The whole time it's modern time, but as the seasons go on, they start intertwining the past to who they are now. So the mom when she was younger, when she first had the first boys. And she was a little hustler, you know what I mean? And, like, it showed, like, all of that shit. But the last season, it's just it's crazy. It made me feel some things. And, you know, I just have to say, I don't know what the fuck it is. Sometimes me and my boyfriend, like, we take an... I swear, when we get either we take an edible or, like, I swear we somehow always watch the most intense episodes when we're fucking loaded, high as fuck. And I swear on my life, we ended up watching, like, the most insane, like, episode in the last season where I just, like, was crying.
No.
And, like, I don't want to give, like, a spoiler, but, like, I feel like, yeah, like, it's my type of show in the sense that it's all about heists. It's about revenge and just interesting family dynamics, which all I feel like
those are all of Sarah's like needs.
No,
like,
being met.
Yeah.
No, literally.
If there was horror in there, like that would
it would just make it even that much better. And like I feel like it has a lot to do with like nostalgia, which I love, and like the jumping in between timelines is so good because they go out of their way to show you everyone's trauma and where it started.
Ooh, I love that.
And it shows
Kinda
you like why
in,
they are Euphoria.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, and it
touches
a lot on the relationship between a toxic mother who views her daughter as a competition.
Oh,
but then also an insecure mother who controls the boys in some way. I don't want to give a full spoiler, but the best part about the series finale for me is that her grandson, which was the son of her only daughter, got revenge.
Oh.
That's all I have to say.
Okay, we love that.
And it hit for me.
Yeah.
Because I was just bawling about the story of the one daughter.
Yeah.
And how
she did her dirty.
They
did her dirty was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Or mostly the mama.
It was the mom.
Oh.
But the boys were scared of her.
Oh.
And the daughter wasn't. Yeah. It was true. Like, I'm getting chills. So, like, it was so good.
All right. I'm excited. How many seasons?
There's 6 seasons.
Okay, 6 seasons.
And, like, a good amount of episodes. It's on Amazon
Prime
Amazon
Prime. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was on one of those shows that was, like, on TV. So, like, it was good.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And now they just put all the seasons on Amazon Prime.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good.
Yay.
Like, a vibe.
Yes.
I would totally recommend it.
Okay.
I will say
should I watch it with my boyfriend?
You definitely should. You definitely should.
Okay.
Like, and just go with it.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna like if you're into heists, you're gonna get into it.
I love heists
because like your adrenaline's just like building. You're like, are they gonna get caught? Like, what's gonna fucking happen?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So recommendation for the people.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so funny how much I love fucking family dynamics and nostalgia and heists. Like those are my things.
Well, I feel like it also it just reminds me of a show that you used to watch back in the day. Oh, gosh, I can't remember, but the girl would wear a red dress. I think it was called Revenge.
Oh yeah, it was Revenge.
Yeah, and it was like family dynamic and like
you guys, what is up with me? Like,
no, like you
am
really
I
love this.
Something? No, you guys. I mean, I know exactly where it comes from.
You know?
I have a big ass family.
Yeah.
I love seeing family dynamics because it makes me like think about mine.
Totally.
And I love revenge because I've been fucked over, so has my family.
Yes,
and I literally get horny thinking about all the people that I'm gonna get revenge on.
Yes.
And not on some like killer shit, on some like I'm doing better than you, and so's my family. Financially, spiritually.
So, 2 things about social media I've been dying to talk to you about that have popped off this week.
What?
Okay, 1, Montana was the first state, like the entire state banned TikTok for everybody who lives in Montana.
What?
Yes. So I know, obviously, like the government, any government official had been banned from using TikTok.
Yeah. But now they just did
the entire state of Montana.
When did this happen?
It was like a week ago.
What are they gonna do? What are the Montana people doing? Are they mad?
Oh, of course they're mad.
People are gonna
all the
fucking go
influencers and stuff like that whose livelihood is literally made off of TikTok. There are obviously some representatives who are fighting to get this overturned. But this is something that the entire nation is actually discussing, right? To completely ban TikTok.
Yo, like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You guys are so annoying. They're so mad that people can actually have real useful information and learn on an app. And not have control over, the government have control over what people are seeing.
Right.
And some sort of narrative. Like, it's very unbiased on TikTok. You will see everything that you're searching for.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that I heard in China, it's censored. Like, they're not seeing it. Did you
Oh,
know
yeah,
that?
yeah. And they can only go on it for a couple of hours a day.
They're like, America, y'all a shit show anyway. Here you go.
You're like, here you
Ruin
go.
yourself.
Have fun.
Die.
And we're like, okay. We're like, woo, 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 doing our little TikTok dances. Okay, I've never done a TikTok dance, but I'm not hating on anyone.
No.
Because, but you get what I'm saying. And
I still
like,
get it.
it is insane
I'm
how
sorry.
they are trying to censor us in this way. And I'm not here for it. It would be an absolute insane move if this happened nationwide.
how much I've learned on TikTok? And they know
so
that
much.
too.
Oh, and that's why they hate it.
They
hate it. They hate it so much. You know what? I was actually on TikTok.
I was reading an
Got on
article.
TikTok.
On
AKA,
TikTok?
I was on TikTok.
Literally.
No, but genuinely on TikTok. It was talking about how the government is super mad because of Gen Z and how they are unifying cross, doesn't matter their gender.
Say that again.
Yeah. It doesn't matter their gender. It doesn't matter the ethnicity. Like, they are finally coming together as a one people, and that's scaring y'all.
Yeah.
That's scary, ain't it?
And
The government's watching.
Guess what, government? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what?
Guess what?
Even if you take TikTok away, it's going to make the people come together even faster, harder, stronger.
Better, better, stronger.
Kanye for president.
No. Oh my God.
No.
But, yes.
Y'all know I'm kidding.
Yeah, totally.
No,
obviously.
but dead
Terrible.
ass, like, I feel like they're so angry. They're like, how dare the people learn? How dare the people come together?
Because their whole thing is like they want us to be stupid.
They do. They hate it.
And not connected.
And they hate...
And we getting connected.
If you think about it, like, you can learn a lot about how much our government has lied to us and what's really happening under the radar if you were to go online and Google it. Who's Googling shit? But the fact that, like, they're on TikTok, you can so easily, on your FYP page, or if you just get the right algorithm, you will learn so much about what's really going on in the government, how they have you fucked up, what just happened the other day in terms of, let's say, Minnesota or whatever you said. Like, they can learn these things with ease on TikTok in a really, really fast rate, too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very scary for the government because people are more inclined to learn and process information in terms of, like, how the government has us fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Well...
Because it's easy.
It is known fact that watching a video helps you retain the information and understand it better than just reading it or some other type of media.
Fact.
You know what I mean? That's why, like, schools are trying to integrate with, like, video and stuff more because it will help us understand the information more. And that's why babies are advancing so much more because we have so much stuff on videos. They can watch and grow and become more advanced quicker.
Yeah.
So, like, quite literally, the recipe of TikTok is amazing because it's these short videos where we can learn a lot of information in digestible ways, which is meeting us where we are at in a society, too.
You know what I also love about TikTok is how easily I can see women that have the body shape of me and just essentially I feel like it's not just a cookie cutter influencer that's on there.
Oh, 100%.
And not just influencers, people that, like, have less than, a micro influencer. Like, I just love that I'm exposed so easily to all these different types of people. And I'm not saying I don't love the ones that are popular that are, like, super skinny. Like, I love me some Alex Earl. Like, that's my bitch. You know what I mean? And and, like, Monet. Like, I love all of these girls. But it's so easy to see also people that are a little bit bigger. Or, you know what I mean? Like, of all different complexions. Like, it's not just a cookie cutter influencer.
100%. I feel like you get more real people experiencing real things. And it's funny because... whatever algorithm that TikTok got going on is significantly better than Instagram because of what you just said. Like, I still, even though I follow so many brown influencers, I like so many black pages, you know what I mean? Like, it really should be, my feed is almost all black.
Yeah.
It is still not.
Yeah.
Whenever a new suggested post comes up, it's like a skinny white girl doing this, like some fitness stuff. And I'm like, that doesn't relate to me at all.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that, like, Instagram and some other of these social medias are still trying to fit in this, like, cookie cutter American trend where it's like, we love
Eastern European
yes,
looks.
Exactly. And it's just tiring, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
just
I'm
know.
bored. I'm
I just
bored.
know Instagram and Facebook the same.
bored.
They're in their offices like, I will crack the code of TikTok.
Right.
I will. No, you won't. You won't. And guess what? I don't want it from you.
I'm so amused. No, truly though, they're like going crazy trying to figure out.
You won't, because you
What
know why?
it
You
is.
sold your soul to the devil. That's why.
You did.
You literally are getting paid out to do some grimy shit.
Okay, the other social media thing that I wanted to talk to you about that is wilding out here is Snapchat got an AI, kind of like chatbot.
I saw, actually.
You saw that, yeah? And, like, people are, like, messaging it, and, like, the Snapchat AI is, like, saying weird things back. It obviously knows stuff about us that, you know, it shouldn't know.
Dude.
Right? Like, okay, so one of the things that I read was, like, someone was messaging it and said something like, where's some good places to eat around here? And it knew its location. And was like, you live in this area. You should eat like this, or something.
Yo, that's crazy.
He's like, how you know where I live? And it was like, we need to end this conversation now. Like, straight up. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, I saw a funny ass video where they had a robot do, like an actual robot, physical robot do like manual labor, like at a job. And it was doing it for like 6 hours or something like that. I don't know what the actual time was, but like a full like day or whatever. After a while, it literally killed itself. Like it literally ended its life. It's like, it said, this is so annoying and boring. Tell me that's not fucking crazy. The robot killed itself. It said, this is too much.
Wow.
And they got us, you know what I mean? People doing some crazy, like.
There's actually so much to unpack there, but like,
Wow.
wow.
Even the robot said, this ain't for me.
Right. And the fact that us as humans somehow still find a way to push through.
Yeah, no, literally.
Like, it's kind of beautiful, but it's also sick.
No, I mean, it's fucking true.
I mean, like, it's beautiful that us as a human, we can push through, we can rise, we can overcome. Like, we really can. But, like, we shouldn't always be doing that.
No, we
You
shouldn't.
know, like, not to say that we need to, like, combust and, like,
no, I'm
die,
saying if we feel like I can't, we should be able to not.
Exactly.
And I saw this funny post that was like, oh, like, isn't it crazy? Like, I go to work and I get plenty of sleep, but why am I falling asleep? And then if I go home, I'm not asleep, so suddenly I'm up. And it's like, it goes to show, it has nothing to do with how tired you are. Yeah. It's just your mind isn't being stimulated enough. Right. So for some reason, you just get tired and sleepy.
Yeah. 100%.
Because I have days like that where I make sure, you guys, my Taurus side real, like moon, like I make sure to always get a good amount of sleep. But even some days where I do get a solid 8 hours, suddenly at like 2, I'm like falling asleep. I'm like, what the fuck? I have a coffee in me. What's the problem?
Right.
My mind's not being stimulated. Mm-hmm. You know my Gemini moon likes to be fucked.
Right.
Why does she be fucked? It needs to be touched.
It needs to be fingered.
It ain't right.
Yes.
You know what they should have, actually?
I understand.
I was about to say the dumbest thing. They should have little robots that, like, we could go talk to, as if there isn't actual humans in my office that I could talk to.
Okay, but sometimes I don't want to be talking to humans.
Sometimes,
so
like, what if my favorite people aren't in the office?
maybe I want to just talk to a little robot.
I do. Like, pick my mind.
Ooh. You know what'd be really good
with
the robots? If they were in the office, they should only be able to reflect. Help you reflect.
Like a therapist robot?
Yes! Wouldn't that be fire? Because how many people actually help you do that?
Therabot. Therabot!
TM that shit. I feel like that would be really good.
Lit.
And then, too, like, going to the next level, you know, if you speak into it and you approve that you wanted to be heard by the team, like it could be like literally it's a little therapy bot, and then that's how the leadership can hear and learn and grow and be better too.
I actually love that.
You know?
I love that because guess what? A lot of times as humans, we just want to be heard.
100%.
And I don't want to go someone that's biased, that's going to hold it against me.
Mm-hmm. They're going to look at me like,
Exactly. I'll probably do a better job when I come out of that Therabot session.
Right. Us with the seriousness.
No, seriously. Like, I could be like, oh, fucking stupid ass bitch. That's not what I fucking said in my email. I want to fucking cuss you out.
Right.
But really, I go to my Therabot and I'm like, and then this happened and this happened. My Therabot gives me some really good advice. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for seeing me.
Thank you for being here today, Therabot. That would be super nice because, you know, sometimes you get really mad at work and you're like, this bitch has me all the way fucked up. And you're like, how can I be professional and tell her or tell him, whoever, that they got me fucked up? And maybe Therabot can give you the language.
I'm sure
you know?
That would be nice.
That would be really nice. I could have used that yesterday. Y'all, I had a hard week at work.
Do you want to vent a little bit?
Actually, yes, I do. Because I found out what my, like, new manager's sign is. He a Leo. And I want to talk about this really quick.
He's very proud.
He is very proud. And, you know, some Leo sons really be doing this, and it actually really irritates me about Leo sons. They don't let you get a word in. I feel like you can call them for something because you want to talk about something.
Yeah.
And you can end that call and you didn't say a single fucking word. Like,
Yeah.
the Leo just completely takes up the conversation. And don't get me wrong. Like, I love Leos. I love their words. Like, I think they're very inspiring and they get me excited to, like, move forward and stuff like that. Like, I love Leos. But sometimes...
Yeah. It's hard to get a word in.
It is, and it's frustrating for someone in a moment, like in a work sense, where you're trying to strategize. Like, I don't want you to talk at me, bro.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes Leos just be talking at you. And it's like, can we have a conversation?
You want dialogue.
Exactly. And I was just so...
Yeah. I'm sure your Sag self was like, listen, bro, I have good things too.
Right.
I have good things to offer here.
And it's confusing because I feel like I always say, you know, Leos kind of get in this sense of like, oh, you know, maybe people aren't appreciating my creativity. And I was feeling like as a fire sign, a Sagittarius stellium with this Leo man's, I was like, you ain't appreciating my creativity right now.
Yeah.
And it was really
Yeah.
irking me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's one of my best traits. So
Right.
when you don't acknowledge that, you're not acknowledging me, I feel like.
Right.
You know?
But honestly, I'm so proud of you because you went into those follow-up meetings
Yeah.
and you explained how you feel.
Yeah.
And that, you know, your input is something that is an asset. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I feel like that's all you really can do.
Totally.
And it's not an easy thing to do. So I feel like you did yourself, honestly, you did yourself good.
I did.
By doing that, because you could have just sat there and kind of let it happen and you didn't.
Totally.
And I'm sure people like him, they're used to that happening and they don't think there's anything wrong with it. Especially men, I feel like they're used to just putting their foot down and doing things their way, and they don't really have a lot of people, especially younger people, who have the confidence and the courage to kind of fight back and tell them, hey, like, I noticed that this is a habit for you. You consistently downplay like what I have to say and the ideas I have.
Right.
And hopefully this is a learning lesson for him. And it's not a knock at what he provides, because I think Leos sometimes can be egotistical in the sense that they assume, like, you know, their way is the best way, and that no one else can say anything that will improve their idea. And your idea within itself is amazing, Leo, but guess what? Someone else can add to that.
Yeah.
And it's a stepping stone to get to the next phase.
Exactly. And genuinely make it better. I feel like it's a hard thing for Leos to be like, well, what I produced was already amazing. How can you make it better?
Yeah.
And like, that's where that ego thing comes in, and where a lot of people get frustrated with y'all Leos, you know? Like, yes, that was an amazing idea. How can we make it even better?
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like maybe sometimes that's like their fixed energy.
For sure. Absolutely.
Being selfish or like,
well, it's the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sun is like, why do I need you? You're going to revolve around me.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I feel like it's important for them to understand that, you know, other people have great ideas too.
Totally.
And it's nice to do things together. Collaboration is a beautiful thing.
Yes. Literally, my fucking Libra moon. I feel like sometimes, I love my Libra moon. I really do. But it is a battle of like, you know, sometimes I will be a people pleaser and just be like, okay, let's let it go. Or I'm like, no, I need to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
It's justice.
It is.
And on Friday, I feel like I got justice, and I was so proud of myself.
Aww.
For speaking up and like doing it so openly, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there were times where I was like, oh my God, I think I'm not saying this in the right way.
Yeah.
But I just need to say it.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm
one of my favorite quotes.
Grateful.
Say it even if your voice shakes.
Right.
Like, I love that quote.
Yeah, and I feel like my voice was shaking, and I was so scared to, like, say to this new manager, like, you're not supporting me in the way that I need.
Yeah.
Like, I straight up basically said that to him, right?
Yeah.
And that was very scary and hard for me. Like, how is he going to take this?
Yeah.
Like, am I still going to have a job after this, right? Like, there were so many questions that were going through my mind and was like, is it worth it to say this?
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that I did. He took it pretty well, and we'll see how it goes later. I'll update y'all, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm happy for my Libra moon ass, who can sometimes be super passive, that I stood up for myself and I said exactly what I was feeling in the workspace. And Sarah and I had like a little off conversation about this. Like, it's a muscle that you need to flex.
Exactly.
You know, like, you have to get comfortable speaking up for yourself, like, in these different facets, you know? And in some ways I feel very comfortable speaking up in certain areas of my life. And sometimes I do in work and sometimes I don't. But like, getting more comfortable with that and getting comfortable speaking up for yourself in all the facets, or how you deem your facets, is really important.
It is, because guess what? Like, that's not going to be the last time you have to have a conversation like that. And a lot of times it is easier to just pretend that everything's fine. And guess what? The other person that made you feel that way, you think they're thinking about how it made you feel? You didn't say shit back to them, so they're going to move on with their life.
Right.
You know? And like, at the end of the day, like I always say, do you want long-term discomfort or short-term discomfort? Short-term discomfort is you standing up for yourself. Long-term discomfort is you knowing for years you've just been biting your tongue because you don't feel the courage enough to voice your opinion and stand up for what you want.
Right.
And a lot of times I feel like, it's a cop-out. We're like, it's fine. Everything's fine. And it's like, because you're so scared of that initial conversation. And again, I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself. And at the end of the day, when you believe in your own ideas, you know that they're going to be an asset to whatever it is that you're working on. And that's where it initially starts. Like, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your ideas?
Yeah.
Then fuck yeah, you need to stand up for yourself, because you know what your ideas provide for the betterment of this company, this relationship, this project, whatever it may be.
Exactly that. And it's like, you have your own ideas. You were brought into this company, this space, whatever, for a reason. And you are actually doing them a disservice when you don't share those ideas. And like, that's what I kind of had to battle with recently. It's like, we're all in a weird place in the economy. Like, let's be real. We don't have time really to sugarcoat things. If you see that there's something wrong in your workplace or there's an inefficiency, I encourage you to be bold and speak up. Yeah. And say, hey, I think this can be fixed. I think we can be doing better at this.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite, Steve Jobs, he has his negative qualities too, but one of my favorite quotes by him is, I don't hire smart people to tell them what to do. I hire smart people to tell me what to do.
Correct.
Like, why would you hire smart people to make them fucking yes men and soldiers? Like, you can hire anyone to follow directions. You want someone who can think for themselves and to think of a more efficient process, or, just have creative ideas for what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Or just new ways to even think about it, Like, we may not finish it in that way, but just a new perspective is so necessary, and you are the only one who can bring that perspective. Yeah. Like, I want to just encourage everyone and remind everyone, there's only your voice. There's only Maya. There's only Sarah. There's only you, Your
experiences bring beautiful things out to this world.
Because no one has lived your life. So your words matter.
And I think it's this is such a fun conversation, and ties into the energy that we're dealing with the Aries and Libra eclipses, and especially the Aries new moon eclipse that we just experienced. Be proud of what you have to offer. Be proud of the new ideas you have. Be proud of taking this bold risk, because it may be monumental for everyone else. But if you don't have the courage to say it, it's going to die. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be the first person that wholeheartedly believes in your idea, in your feelings, in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because people will see if you don't believe in it, and they're already done with you 1 minute into you giving a speech about why everyone should follow, this new thing that you just came up with. Yeah. You need to feel confident and bold enough to take that risk and show people why it will be worth their while if they take that risk with you. That is the message of this Aries new moon eclipse. And the Aries and Libra eclipses this year. Bet on yourself and respect other people enough to want to be with you.
Yeah.
To want to see your dream. And also do that for other people. You know, that's that Libra energy.
Right. That's the other axis
The other
of
people
it.
matter.
And that you can't actually get there without other people. You know what I mean? Like we were saying earlier, like the best ideas come when multiple people are able to contribute to it. You know, like you don't want all the hands in the pot, but you do need to hear other people's voices, because then how are you sure that this product or this thing is really going to hit with everyone? You only asked one person. It was only you doing it.
And guess what? It's going to work out in your favor if you hire people or if you're around people, your partner, your friends, if you have people around you that are good at things that you're not good at.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually better. It's not a competition. Oh my God, they're better at that than me. Maybe I should work on that. Honey, that's never been your strength. You know what your strengths are. Fucking work with that shit.
100%.
You know what I mean? And guess what? Now this is beautiful. You have someone who's good at what you're not good at. Fucking stick with them.
Right. Hold on to them for dear life.
Literally.
It's so funny because I feel like maybe it's just an American society, but like so many people are like, I got this on my own. It was me. It was all me.
Yeah.
But like, no, you never get somewhere like far all on your own. There
takes
are
a
always
village.
people there to support
It takes
you.
a village, and that's a beautiful thing.
Right. It really is. And if you're thinking, oh, I just got here all on my own, you aren't acknowledging the people who helped support you, who you called, who you cried to, who you strategized with. You know what I mean? Because it isn't just one. And if for some odd reason you were the one to just get it, I don't even think it's not
not
real.
possible. Someone helped you at some point.
Yes, and that is okay. I just want to say, like, that is okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. We are humans. We are here for connection and interactions and relationships. And you are denying yourself of the human experience if you're trying to go at it alone.
I mean, and guess what? It's so much more fun celebrating with people that were there with you while you did it. People that were there, people that you were doing it with. Like, it just feels better, you guys.
So much better.
And guess what? If you think you did it on your own, I promise you, you're going to have some sort of complex where you feel like other people shouldn't be celebrating with you. Why the fuck is you here? That shit is not fun.
No.
You want to be around people that helped you.
Right.
And people that you helped, they're going to call you to come over when they made it. Like, it just feels good.
Yeah. Well, because, like, you don't want to be a party of one.
Yeah.
When you go party by yourself.
Like,
I mean, sometimes you do, but, like, you're really.
You're still going to have fun with other people when you show up.
Exactly. At the end of the day, like I said, we all need human connection. We are all looking for that partner, that friend, that mother, daughter. You know what I mean? Like, we're all looking for somebody.
Yeah, we are.
So don't deny them when you get there. Make sure you acknowledge them.
It's true. Yep.
You know? Because then some shady shit might start happening.
It will. And I mean, no one wants someone like that around.
Yeah.
No one wants someone that will never acknowledge the role that you have played in their life.
Right.
I'm not saying tell me that it's because of me you got everything, but I would appreciate a little bit of like, hey, like, I really, really, really loved having you there when I needed you.
Yes.
And I will never, ever forget what you did for me in the times that I needed someone.
Yeah.
You know?
And I genuinely feel like if you don't thank people in that way, you're probably not doing great in life. You probably didn't get very far. No. Or if you maybe did, you're super lonely and you hate your life.
You guys, like, I love me, but without the people around me, I wouldn't have the level of safety that I feel. Yeah. You know? That's just a fact.
I just wouldn't be happy.
When I'm low, like, I know I have people around me that will push me higher. Yeah. And I appreciate that. And guess what? When I'm doing well, I can't wait to see who needs me. Because I have enough energy to give it to them. Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, we're going to a baseball game. And I feel like it's a perfect analogy because, you're the hitter on your own, right? Like, you can score on your own, but you can't win the game on your own.
Yeah, literally.
Right? Like, other people, there's so many other people who are already working against you. Yeah. You need a team.
Literally. You
know?
Literally. You're going to need someone else to hit it too so you can make it back.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're stuck and now you got to walk out.
You're just stuck. And it's like, okay, well, that's
that
over.
was for nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Good job. We love y'all so freaking much.
So much.
Thank you for hanging out with your girls on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. We hope you guys are living a luxurious life on this beautiful Taurus season.
Indulgent.
Yes. All of that.
Yes.
If you're listening, don't forget to go on Apple, Spotify, please, wherever you are listening. Go to those apps, leave us a review. We would appreciate the hell out of it. And if you're listening on YouTube and watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. We love you guys so fucking much. Okay, we in spring, baby.
Spring, baby.
Get that pep in your step. All right, we love y'all. Bye.
Bye.